Did you know that most people who think they know that thoughts create their experience don't really know how to practice that in real life? Well, today in Christi's Clarity, I'm going to give you some tools on how to do that and how to really create the life that you would love living. Okay, this is Christi's Clarity with today we're in the workbook. We're in my book, beyondtheboxbook.com. And if you have the book and you're watching this, go ahead and put in the comments that you have the book and that you're working with this. If you don't have the book, then you can go to the link that's going to be put in this box, and you can put the code in that will get it. I will sign it and send it to you without postage if you're in the US. So this is what we're doing over the next many months, is going through this book chapter by chapter. Now, many of you know, if you've already been with me, you know that I created this book based on art principles, elements and principles of art, to explain the universal principles. So we are on chapter 3. So we have gone through point. Where are you now? Where do you want to go? Line. How do you connect that? And this month we're on shape. How do you create the container of support to pour your dream into? Now, last week was a really important week for this information, so go back and watch that. All of these things, show up on both my personal page and my business page, Mastering the Art of Life with Christi Karate. And you can see last week's video where we talked about how important it is to create a list of all of your assets and a list of the team that you have that supports you. And I'm not going to go into the details about that because I've got some great information for you today. Okay, so as I mentioned at the beginning of this call, most people think they know about how that your thoughts create your experience. Okay, and I even talked about this last week. Your thoughts through your actions move you into your thoughts through your emotions cause you to move into action to create the thing that you want to create. Now, the exciting thing is that you can tell if you understand this or not by looking at your life around you. Are there still things that you're longing for? Are there still things that you would like to create in your life that you haven't created yet? Well, that means that you know about the idea of thoughts creating your experience. You don't live your life from them completely. Now, we all do this at different degrees. And today I'm going to share with you a really wonderful tool to use in looking how to use this. Now, one of the weeks before, it might have even been last week, I showed you the thermostat of my frequency thermostat and how to create, turn up the dial on your thinking. And today I'm going to give you another piece of that, which is work from a person called David Hawkins, and he created this pyramid of consciousness, or levels of consciousness. And I wanted to share this with you today so that you can really understand and pay attention. That's actually the number one key to all of this work, is to pay attention to your thinking. Okay, so first of all, you can see on this scale, imagine this to be a vibrational frequency. I'm going to go ahead and change my screen here to show you how it relates to the thermostat. Okay, so if you're watching this right now and you're seeing the thermostat, go ahead and put, or the pyramid of consciousness, go ahead and put in either a thumbs up or I'm here. If you're watching it on a replay, let me know what you benefited from this, but go ahead and put comments in the comment bar, okay? So this, you can see, is a little different because I've drawn a line through the zeros. Now, if I'm going to go back and share very quickly with you the thermostat, so you can go back to the previous time we used this, and you can see that I've used 0 to 100 here on the frequency of the thermostat. Now, those of you that are younger may not know that this is what a thermostat used to look like, and you would turn the dial to turn the temperature up or to turn the temperature down to get your air conditioner working, or up to get your heater working. I use it as a way to measure the frequency of your thoughts. Go back and watch that video, but we're going to go back right now to the consciousness, the pyramid of consciousness that has the line through it. Now you can see that we can attribute the 2 to 2%. When you're in shame, you are down here stuck in negative emotion, and the thermostat, your thermostat, is set at 2. And I want you to see that how you can move up into either level 1, level 2, and these can be done in steps. And you can even see this in, when people are experiencing grief, then they actually go through anger and things like that, and that actually means they're moving up in here. One of the things I love about this chart so much is that there is this red line here that shows us what it takes to move out of the stuck in emotion zone into level 1, the zone of happy and productive. Look at what it is. It's courage. Courage. And it's at 20%. That's very low on the frequency thermostat. But notice that you could absolutely turn your frequency up from shame and guilt to, I'm going to have the courage to have new thoughts. I'm going to have the courage to even look at my shame and my guilt at a very different level. And then the next level is trust, right? How do you trust that this is working? Well, what's really great is this is only a 25% frequency level, and it's only a shift of, say, 10% to get you out of this negative emotion zone, right? So you get to prove that trust, you get to prove in order to trust at this level. You get to even say, show me how I might see that I'm moving in the right direction. Okay, and if you go to the quick links on my website, Mastering the Art of Life with Christi, one of my offerings, my free gifts, is 5 questions to know if your dream is worthy of you. And you can actually use that to help you trust and get proof that you are moving in the right direction and that this really works. Okay, and optimism and happiness works. I was on a group of mine with with one of my support groups, and we take turns facilitating, and the person that facilitated last week said, let's start with some funny videos. And it took everybody into joy and happiness to optimism first. We can get to joy and love and gratitude later, but just even that level of okay, I can feel good even though there's a lot of icky things going on. And then you see here, and now we're just at 31% of that frequency, right? Forgiveness. Forgiveness is key. And if you go, I believe it's chapter 7 in my book, so we will be getting to the concept, or maybe it's chapter 6, we will be getting to the concept of forgiveness and how important that that is. I'm going to put my picture in the middle here, so I'm looking at you. And then, so forgiveness, when we can get to that, and guess what? It's not just forgiving other people, it's forgiving ourselves. Forgiving ourselves for being in fear, grief, for being in shame, for having guilt, for not doing it perfect and not doing it right. You know, we're not here to do it 100% perfect. That's not our job. We're here to progress, to move up on the level of this. And so understanding how these things work. Look at this. You get to peak performance without stress. Who doesn't want that? You know, stress is actually one of the things that really harms our health. And so at this level, we're really talking about health. You know, are you stressed? Are you, creating so much cortisol in your body that it's having to spend all its time dealing with that instead of dealing with, your metabolism being healthy and all of those other things. Anyway, that's another subject, right? And then right here, just 50% is love. All you need to do to raise your frequency to 50% and be in extraordinary outcomes is just being at 50. Now, and even peace is 60, right? And this is between 60 and 100. That is like the ultimate, right? But just even to be here, what do you need to do to up-level your frequency? Well, as I mentioned when I talked about the thermostat, the number one thing that you can do is choose to ask a powerful question, such as, what is something, look at this, this isn't even, I've got a problem, okay, I've got a health problem, and it's really, really scaring me. How can I shift the frequency? And I go, oh, what is something that I am joyful about? Well, for example, this morning, my son and his wife are going fishing. And we help them load up the kayak and get them the right hat. And it's all my fishing gear that they're taking with them. And that just brought me so much joy. Now, that doesn't have to do with any health issues. But if I can begin thinking at this frequency right here, 50% love, or gratitude is so powerful, and joy. And now I go back and think of the health issues. Think of it at this frequency. And that will take you into the present moment of going, oh, I am joyful in this moment. I am joyful in this moment. Okay, when you're in this moment, there's nothing else except what you are thinking about. And that goes and affects how the result of your health issues work out. Now, there is the idea that inspiration without action is merely entertainment. That's one of my mentor Mary Morrissey's favorite quotes. And it's so true. There is action behind it, but why do any action that's not coming from this, anything above the red line here? So today, and remember, the key to all of this comes back to paying attention to your thinking so that you can say, where am I at this chart? So we're putting a link in the comments for you to be able to download this chart. And also, if you would like my book, if you live in the US and you would like my book today free of shipping, go ahead and use the coupon code that will be in the comments of this Zoom, of this Facebook Live, actually. Okay, everybody. So allow this to bring you more clarity, to move you towards living your best life. This is Christi Karate. See you next week.